Well, it really is truly incredible, though. This is by far the largest giraffe I've ever seen in my lifetime.
It's such a large giraffe and especially great for a Weight Watchers program.
A Weight Watchers program?
Yes, they're putting it on a Weight Watchers
Really?
program.
Tell me more about that. How will that work exactly, logistically?
So basically, they're going to change out the greens that it consumes into its
Naturally.
body. Yes.
Oh dear Lord.
Oh,
Okay.
oh my God.
I'm on.
Oh
I'm
my
ready.
God. Oh my God. Breaking news. On this day, on August 26, 1883, we have some devastating news. On the southwest side of Indonesia, there has been a volcanic eruption. Pumice just floating, it's just going out everywhere from side to side, just completely covering. This eruption is being heard. You might even have just felt the shake. It's being heard all over the planet. What is that? More. I think our on-site reporter has just reached. AJ, are you there? Are you there? Can you tell us what's going on?
Well, yes, Maddie, the conditions out here are just incredible right now. I am looking at Krakatoa, the dormant volcano for over 200 years, finally becoming awake again. It's just rustling back to life right now, right in front of my very own eyes. Actually, Jeff, can we get this angle for the viewers? Okay. Our cameraman has told us that it's too dangerous to get this angle right now. We just simply cannot show you, and I apologize for that, but I'll try to describe it to you the best that I can. It's just marvelous, just stunning right now. It's just thrilling to be here. I am just in awe of this spectacular show that's going on. The volcano has been rumbling. We've had several earthquakes at this time. It's just absolutely stunning. We think that this might have to do with the fact that Krakatoa, in the island that I'm on right here of Krakatoa, is actually above a subduction zone, is what our scientists are finding right now. And yes, and my producers have just informed me that it's actually very, very weak crust. It's very brittle, weak crust, and that could have to do with why this is all happening right now. It's just spectacular.
Wow, that is just fascinating. Now, AJ, on a scale of 1 to the end of the world, how dangerous is it out there?
Yes, it's very dangerous out here, Maddie. I'd say it's probably between an 8 or a 9 on that scale. In fact, very dangerous. Many people have already died. I'm just looking right now at just clouds of pumice and ash just billowing out of the volcano, just miles into the air. The rain has picked up recently. The conditions are all changing. The clouds are swirling around right now. It's very, very fascinating what this has done. It's crazy. Our cameramen are even starting to get drenched over here. It's just crazy. Crazy out here, Maddie. Many people have already died. Like I said, 3 villages have already been destroyed. Many men, women, children, animals, it doesn't matter. The volcano doesn't care. There's many animals. There's horses, pigs, cows, fat giraffes, horses, many kinds of animals have all met their ends already in this horrifying event. Yes, and actually where I'm standing right now, it's the water has receded. Just moments ago, it was up to my knees right here. We are towards the shoreline, and the shoreline has just receded rapidly, which could be a warning sign of a tsunami. But we have to be very careful because it's slippery out here. If I'm not careful, I'm going to Krakatoa. So we have to be very, very careful. The tsunami, if it was going to hit, we're going to get alerted for that, so don't fear. We are,
AJ, are you there? Is everything okay, AJ? Folks, we just lost our on-site reporter. When we get more info, we'll definitely report back with what happened. But for now, we're going to send it over to our expert consultant, Mr. Nick Mino, to give you more specifics on the catastrophic event of Krakatoa.
Thank you. As we've seen, Krakatoa is a devastating event, but it's been coming for years, and we'll get into that. So let's just jump right into Indonesia's volcanoes. It has 130, more than 130 active volcanoes. It's more than any other country. It's really just an island arc, which we've seen before, but it's with there's 130 active volcanoes. It's so condensed, which makes it very dangerous, as we're seeing. Krakatoa is right above a subduction zone, and we've seen that before. You know, it's the Eurasian plate going right at the Indo-Australian plate, ducking under it. You know, we know what happens. Volcano pops up, boom, Krakatoa. And what really makes it unique is this sharp change in direction in the plate that makes the continental crust very, very weak right there. And it's obviously more vulnerable. So a question I've already been receiving is how does this happen? How does Krakatoa form? You know, in earlier events, many events over the years, starting in 338 AD actually, forms this. You know, it's a caldera forming over many years, leaving remnants all over the place. It's and then in 338 AD, it's recorded in history that people just heard this loud thundering noise, seen the earth shaking. They thought it was the end of the world, but there's no real datable evidence, which is too bad. But if you move on to, of course, the 535 AD event, this is facts. This has happened. You know, this is real. It's honestly been accredited to being the result of the climate change. Actually, what caused the climate change in 535, 536, just dramatic. You know, other scientists other than me have confirmed this event, but the problem is, again, there's not a lot of datable evidence, and that can be a problem because we're trying to compare eruptions here, because this is the first of this size that we've seen from Krakatoa. And then if you look at the 1681 event that everyone talks about, the Dutch mining engineer Johan Vogel, not Dr. Jim Vogel, he wrote in his diary that he saw these billows of smoke going up. He was out at sea for 2 months. Can you imagine leaving your wife for 2 months and coming back and saying, wow, there's just so much smoke all over? No, you cannot, because you've never seen it. And then he comes out there, he sees this inhabitable island, but the thing that makes it so reliable is also in 1681, just 202 years ago, a Bengali sea captain saw the same thing. He wrote the same thing. So that happened 100%. But if we look at the warning signs of Krakatoa, that's where it really gets juicy. Just back in May, a few months ago, it woke up, and a German warship captain saw that. He saw it, woke up, and he saw smoke 7 miles high. I can't even run 1 mile. 7 miles. You know, it's crazy. It's sleeping giant, sleeping for 200 years. You're out there on your ship and you see that. It's a warning sign for sure, but we just, we didn't expect this. No one did, of course. You know, and it actually happened. We're dating it. It happened the 26th. You know, we just thought there was smoke up in the air, but just on the 26th, it started billowing smoke into the air, 22 miles up actually. Can you imagine 22 miles up? Obviously, the big eruptions that we're hearing now didn't happen right then, but 22 miles up in the air there was smoke, and we were on alert, but didn't expect this. As I've said, 2,800 miles away, people are calling in to their local news station saying, what is happening? Is there an earthquake? Are my neighbors dropping their pans? No, not at all. It's Krakatoa. Krakatoa's happening. There's 11 cubic miles of smoke in the air right now. Right. That's correct, right now. 11 cubic miles. Can you imagine running 1 mile that way, 1 mile that way, and running 1 mile up in the air? Times that by 11, that's so much. Oh my goodness. Now if you look at the composite volcano that it is, or a stratovolcano as it's called, it's this tall conical volcano that's right behind me, as you can see. It's hardened lava, tephra, volcanic ash. It's got a very steep profile. We call it the double black diamond. You couldn't ski down it, no way. It's got highly viscous lava. It's like burning molasses flying right at you. I mean, this magma, it forms this type of felsic lava. It's just so devastating. And the people of Krakatoa, we are here for you. You are on our minds. This is so devastating. You are on our hearts, people of Krakatoa. Stay strong. I'm Nick Mino, and I'm signing off.
Thank you, Mick Mino. Now, as he just said, our hearts, our minds, and our souls are with the people of Krakatoa. Please keep them in your minds and in your thoughts and your prayers. Now, please join us later for the 11 o'clock newscast as we go through the new developments with Krakatoa. Thank you so much. Welcome to BBC News Live. As we reflect on a devastating event that has had our hearts for 2 months, we are going to go to Cambaletto to follow up with the event.
Thank you, Nick. Now we're on to facts from the aftermath of the volcanic eruption of Krakatoa. The eruption was the loudest ever recorded in human history. Eardrums were shattered 40 miles away, and it was heard 4,600 kilometers away throughout the whole Indian Ocean. The eruption caused tsunamis that were 40 kilometers high, that were the cause of 3,000 to 4,000 deaths. It ravaged coastlines. There were 165 villages and towns that were destroyed, and there were 132 towns that were damaged. The costs were great. In all, there was 36,417 deaths. It was a devastating eruption. The caldera actually destroyed 2/3 of the island, if you could see here. We have Danan and Pubowanan. All that is left is the Rakata Island. The whole eruption destroyed 2/3 of the island. Incredible. It was huge. Now, the ash and the rock and the pumice that was thrown into the atmosphere blocked the sun in that surrounding area of these 3 islands for a few days. The dust in the atmosphere and the stratosphere went around the globe and actually caused awesome sunsets, which is pretty funny because it was such a devastating eruption. The clouds filtered sun and heat from around the globe and actually decreased the global temperature by 1.2 degrees Celsius for a few years. I think about 2 years, it says. The dust in the stratosphere actually produced so much color that you could see around the globe. There were the most beautiful sunsets, and they inspired many paintings. One of the paintings here to my right is Scream, as we all know, and it is said originally that the sunsets produced in the artist's depiction was from the sunsets viewed around the globe from this eruption. Incredible stuff. Actually, in one case, a family in New York called the fire department because they thought one sunset was actually a fire, but it was just the clouds from the dust in the sky. Incredible. In the surrounding areas, as you saw from the image before, the dust mixed with the water vapor, and it created sulfuric acid raindrops in the stratosphere, which did damage many crops and vegetation of the coastlines nearby. It wasn't until 44 years later where Javanese, I believe that is right, fishermen discovered the new island of Krakatoa, which is now called Anak Krakatoa, also known as Child of Krakatoa. Because of the plate movement, this is the brand new scoria cone that is being formed in that area. As you can see here, Anak Krakatoa is now being formed here and is only just above sea level, and scientists and geologists are still studying it today. It is quite, and it was quite, the explosion. But that is all.
Thanks, Cam, for that detailed report. This event that just occurred just 2 months ago has been in our hearts for so long. Our prayers and our minds continue to be with this devastating event of Krakatoa. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you soon. As always, stay classy, Krakatoa.